think that Caitlin, what people don't talk about is mentally, she's an absolute beast.
Who plays the style that how
What
Caitlin
is the
plays?
style? Just threes?
Wow.
It's not just threes.
What is her style?
You think it's going even? Even her misses look good.
This is what WNBA players and legends have to say about the newest superstar, Caitlin Clark. Some people think she's a superstar, and the others, they're just jealous. When Taurasi said she would take Paige Beckers over Caitlin Clark,
I'm taking Paige. Next question.
So if you had the #1 pick this year, you would take Paige over Caitlin?
Absolutely.
the world went crazy. Seriously, Clark had been lighting up college hoops for a year at that point. Taurasi caught some heat for saying Clark would have to adjust to the WNBA, but she doubled down on that take.
Yeah, you know, it's the new fans. They're really sensitive these days. You can't say anything. Yeah, you know, it's kind of like when you go from kindergarten or first grade, there's a learning adjustment. When you go from high school to college, there's a learning adjustment. You know, I don't think I said anything that wasn't factually correct.
But did she think Clark would make it as a good pro?
Like anything, greatness is going to translate, and she's proven that in every level. And I don't see it being any different in the WNBA.
She is so great, you won't believe who already gave her MVP hype this season.
Caitlin Clark is starting to push A'ja Wilson for MVP of this league, and I am not exaggerating.
I think she should be up for MVP. Rookie of the Year, foregone conclusion. But I think MVP.
Caitlin Clark's going to win. They'll win.
She's going to come in and be the MVP.
Yeah, we don't have 4 or 5 years. We're season ticket holders next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Which might seem disrespectful to this two-time MVP looking for a three-peat.
I am actually off social media, so my reaction is pretty late, but it's noise that I don't really listen to, honestly.
A'ja Wilson is the WNBA's sitting best player in the league. And with that status comes her refusal to get caught up in the pettiness that's run crazy to start Clark's career.
And I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say.
Now, people saying Clark could have or should have been MVP is absolutely ridiculous. A'ja Wilson just had maybe the greatest season in the history of the sport. Scoring record, total rebounds record, breaking the one Angel Reese just set, and blocks leader, the first player to lead the W in all 3 total stats. She was obviously going to be the first unanimous MVP. But the fact that Clark is even getting consideration is a testament to how insane she has been. The stats don't even tell the whole story. Just wait till you hear what A'ja Wilson's teammate and superstar quarterback Kelsey Plum has to say.
I think that Caitlin, what people don't talk about is mentally, she's an absolute beast. So I think that is going to help her more than anything. Because it's not if you fail, it's when you fail and how able you're your bounce back, your resilience.
Overall, the Aces co-superstars are happy with the Caitlin Clark effect.
I feel like the energy is good. It's a good vibe. It's a good feel. People are really just coming to see the product on the floor. I think it kind of a little too gossipy in the beginning, but then it started to fizzle out because people started to realize we're really good at what we do. We're elite at what we do. So I love the energy now. Like, people are saying good hoops.
It might be too early for Clark to start competing with her for MVP, but that narrative is just what happens when you're the #1 pick. Wait till you hear what 2012 LA Sparks #1 pick had to say. If anyone knows what it's like for Clark, it's Nneka Ogwumike. She too was drafted #1 with high expectations, but she also sees something in Clark.
Of course, you know, the next level is always going to be more difficult, but she has, you can tell, how she plays, that she has the pro mentality.
This was all the way back in the NCAA tournament, before Clark's 1-8 start with the Fever. Nneka saw it coming.
You know, everyone struggles, even me. I even had a hard time. I think everyone has that transitional period.
But she also saw Clark's eventual rise in these last few weeks.
But I think the difference maker with people that make it to the WNBA is the discipline.
Yeah.
And I don't have to see Caitlin work in the gym to know that she has that discipline to be a pro.
Yeah, great point.
Yeah.
But some of them are just still so bitter. What Lexi Brown said is actually insane.
She didn't play like that.
No,
Gino even said it. She didn't play like that.
In the dub, she did.
I'm talking about in college. Who plays the style that how
What
Caitlin
is the
plays?
style? Just threes?
Wow.
It's
What
not
is
just
her-
threes.
What
though.
is her style?
She
New
pick
school.
and roll.
I don't know.
She makes threes. She makes tough shots. She's a great passer. She
So
finishes
you
at
don't
all
think
levels.
anybody in the league can shoot threes?
No, I'm
It don't matter. That's what I'm saying. You guys are talking about. You don't have no eyes on you, right?
Right.
What's your style, Lexi? Averaging 6 points a game? Riding the bench for most of your career? It's almost as embarrassing as this argument.
Because I say this, yes, records are made and set to be broken. But if you're going to break a record, this isn't just for Caitlin, but you asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years.
Cheryl Swoops might be a legend, but she's either bitter at Clark's fame or just can't count. It's not the first time Swoops has said something insane about Caitlin Clark, and it won't be the last. But most Hall of Famers know she's legit.
I mean, obviously she's a very, very talented player, and I was talking with someone before the game, and it's like she's a #1 pick, and #1 picks continue to grow and develop into this league and really make their mark. And for her to be able to handle everything that she's handling on and off the court and still play and be locked in with her team, it's...
While people like Swoops are bitter, superstars like A'ja Wilson and Breanna Stewart, the two best players in the league, are giving Clark her props. Everyone wants to focus on the negative, but a lot of hoopers are high on Clark, happy for what she is doing to the league. Just wait until you hear who Candace Parker compared her to.
Stage where you are the key to be stopped on every possession.
Yeah.
For her to do that, I mean, listen, she made me a believer yesterday.
Yeah,
and I don't
awesome.
do this, but like mentioning somebody, what she's doing in the tournament is a la Steph.
It's not a crazy comp. She and Steph play the same way with the same gravity and the same effect on their teammates. But Lisa Leslie thinks she plays more like one of Clark's own critics.
She's phenomenal, and again, she's a little bit of like both of you. Like Diana's a bucket at all times, and she's a bucket like I don't care where she shoots from. You think it's going even. Even her misses look good, like yours, Diana. And then Sue, she's a passer like you. Like her assists, the cross courts, the ability to see the floor, hit the bigs on the roll, pick and roll. So.
To be a mix of Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi is a compliment. The NBA version of that is like calling a dude Steve Nash plus Kobe. Speaking of Bird,
Everybody's clearly got their defensive game plan built around her, which is a compliment.
again, just like Steph. But if you're talking about more than style of play, there is one comp that everyone has been making.
She's obviously doing amazing. Her game speaks for itself. I think my favorite part is just women's basketball, women's sports really, but women's basketball has been on the rise. And it's kind of like what Magic and Bird was to men's basketball. Like this moment, we kind of needed something.
This is
to
that
just
moment.
Yeah, and Caitlin's that moment.
Caitlin Clark is that moment. For all her skill, her biggest accomplishment is getting a nation to tune into a sport they rejected for 2 decades.
What Caitlin Clark has done for the game is generational, and I just, as a baller to a baller, I just want to say thank you to you, Caitlin Clark.
What Clark game do you think was the most impressive in her rookie year? Let us know in the comments, then watch one of these videos next. Listen to The Wrong Opinion, useless NBA trivia, and garbage rankings for more NBA content.